Hola mi gente, bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio del show. Estoy aquí con Luis Coronel, estoy muy feliz de estar aquí con Luis. La última vez que hablamos fue el octubre pasado y estás lanzando Dios no se equivoca, and that was the first single off of this new album that we have now, and it's called
Yes.
Dentro de Mis Ojos. I have so much to talk about. It's so exciting. It's been a long time in the making. So el público has been waiting for it and everything. So I'm gonna have them waiting a little bit more before we talk about everything that went into it. Okay.
Yes, let's do it. I'm excited. This album has a lot, so I'm excited to tell the fans qué es lo que contiene. I'm super excited.
Let's hold them off on a little bit. What else have you been up to these past few months while you, other than being like in the studio crazy working on the album?
So other than being in the studio, you know, I've just been hosting a TV show. I've been keeping busy with writing music, just keep writing songs, keep the inspiration coming, and just creating music. I feel like I've been focusing a lot on that, you know, creating music. I really want to make a lot of music so fans can really have a lot of songs to listen to throughout the whole day, throughout the whole year, throughout their whole lifespan. So I need to create music.
I love that. As a fan myself, I really appreciate that. I love that you've been hard at work in the studio. Like you said, you also host a TV show, which for those who don't know, let's say it again, it is called Tengo Talento, Mucho Talento. And that's where you started off your career. Now you're hosting. And it's been a crazy, interesting season, por lo que he visto and everything. I mean, we've had some great funny moments, you dressing up as El Chavo del Ocho, and then some also more intimate and personal moments of you singing your very own song with a fan who's also a contestant on the show, which was such a beautiful moment to witness and watch. So tell us a little bit about how this season has been going for you.
So this season has been amazing because, how you said, it's been a lot of everything, a lot of emotions, a lot of happy moments, a lot of sad moments, a lot of stressed out moments, because it's a new format. So the judges have an iPad where they have 10 categories that they have to evaluate from 0 to 10. So within the 10 categories, whatever you evaluate each category in, it gives you a promedio. El promedio is within, per se, an example, 76. If one contestant has 76, the one that's coming up next has to beat 76, el promedio, in order for them to be able to pass to the next round. If they don't, then they're eliminated right there in that instance. So it's kind of a good format. The final, which we're almost already to the final, it's going to be super interesting because this is where the public gets to vote. You know, this is where it's interesting, and the public gets to vote who they decide who they want to be the winner of this temporada. So it's exciting. I love hosting a TV show, and I love being with the judges that are there. It's Carolina Ross, El Yaqui, Pepe Garza, La Barbara Don Cheto. And I mean, I've always loved to be there. So it's exciting.
There's a lot going on. It's a panel of incredible judges, including yourself, of course. I love that format. And like you said, the season finale is right around the corner, and it is very cool that the public get to vote for their favorite as well, just as the judges have been doing all season long. So it makes it a little bit more interactive.
Okay. Absolutely. So it does make it interactive. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay, I think we made the public wait long enough, Luis. Let's get to talking about the new album, Dentro de Mis Ojos. I mean, because I'm dying to know about what happened behind the scenes as well. So, okay, the focus track is also called by the same title. And I'm so curious to know what came first, the chicken or the egg. Was it the album title you had, or did you have this song, and then was the rest of the album inspired by the track as well?
The rest of the album was inspired by the track. Dentro de Mis Ojos has a very deep message. I feel like not just for me, but for a lot of people could identify. So the song talks about, you know, losing your parent. It talks about having to tattoo your parent on your chest because that's the closest spot to your heart, to keep them as close as you can. Talks about immigration, you know, how borders separated our family kind of a little bit. So I feel like a lot of people go through that as well. It talks about me at one point, you know, we went through poverty. Our family couldn't afford sometimes to bring food to the house. You know, my mom, although she always did her best, and we love her for always trying her best, and we understood that she was always doing her best, but there were tough moments and she couldn't bring food to the table. So there was 2-3 days where I would go to my friend's house to be able to eat because there wasn't food at the house. And it talks about all these type of things. So it's such a deep message. And overall, I feel like it talks about, like, if I per se speak to you or to the fans, and I'm very open, and I tell you guys everything that I lived through, what my dad passing away, where I come from, what I do, what I don't do, where I feel sad, where I feel happy, what makes me sad, what makes me happy. I feel like you guys would understand my life so much that at the moment that I give you guys my back, I feel like there would be no bad talking about me, because you guys understand me exactly. Like Dentro de Mis Ojos, if you girls see me exactly in my eyes, or it goes to anybody, like that's why I say the song fits anybody, because Dentro de los Ojos de una persona, if you really know them, just by looking at them in the eyes, dentro de los ojos, you get to tell if they're happy, you get to tell if they're sad, if they're depressed, if they have anxiety, what they're going through. So it's such a deep message that I feel that the public has adapted to it. They've loved it. And that's why I said, you know what? It's got to be the title of the album for sure.
I love that. It's obviously a very personal song for you.
Yes.
The message behind it, as you said, it's relatable for everybody, regardless of whether they've been through the exact same situation or something similar. Just the fact of you like talking about, your life story being shown in your eyes is something that everyone can relate to. And I love that you share this message, and it's kind of optimistic as well, saying like, I trust you enough with my truth and everything to not like betray me at any moment. So I love that a lot. I love how transparent you always are. I mean, in real life, like right now in an interview, and then as well as in your music, like you're always very open and honest about everything you've been through. And I think that's probably the main reason that your fans connect with you as much as they do, because they feel like, I mean, como somos familia, ¿no?
Absolutely, we are a family. Creo que eso es lo importante, ¿no? I feel like and it's not like I feel like I have to be like that, but I'm always transparent. I always tell people what my life is, because at one point, like I understood that whatever one artist, because I remember even being a young kid without even having fame or being an artist, where I was in school and I would look up to an artist, you know what I mean? So crece inspiración, crece motivación con solo ver a un artista. So I'm happy to be able to be where I'm at, to be able to make music and make fans smile throughout what I do 100%.
That's amazing. There's always good intentions behind everything you do. So that's always so much appreciated as well. And since this is the focus track of the album, it is such a personal one for you. Before we get on to talking a little bit more about the other tracks and everything, I've got to ask, if you're up to it, do you want to sing a little bit of the track?
Dentro de mis ojos?
Yes.
Ahí le un pedacito.
Luego
me perdía 2-3 días de chamaco, en casa de mis compas de repente echaba el taco. No fue fácil crecer, pero ahí la llevamos. Hay que un pedacito.
I love it. Thank you. Mira, como la última vez me tuviste un bouquet de roses, aquí te tengo uno también, ¿ah?
Okay, thank you. No, pues, que no pase de percibido.
Oh my goodness, otra vez. You're always one-upping me, Luis. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. And now to talk a little bit more about some of the other important tracks of the album, something that really stood out to me was the fact that one of the songs, it is called Ahora Regresas, was inspired by the sort of love story of one of your fans. And I'm going to let you tell that story and the concept behind it, because it's a little dramatic.
Yeah, it's a little dramatic. So we did a poll, we said, hey, do you girls want to like be a part of the album? A lot of girls said yes. 0% was no. So we said, you know what, we have to kind of listen to fan stories. And we did like I remember it was like 100 fans, like send us your story of like your relationship or what you've gone through, and whatever story we prefer or think we could write upon. We'll do it. So we went through this whole list of stories, and a lot of them were crazy stories. But this one in particular was it like standed out because I feel like a lot of people go through it. So this young girl, she was in a relationship and she was in a relationship for a while with her man. They were the love of her life. She was super in love. They were super in love. But little did she know that he was cheating on her with her best friend. So her best friend, it happens, best friends. So her best friend ends up taking her man. He leaves with her. They have a relationship. It ends up not working out. And he tries to come back to her. And she kind of says like, ahora regresas, intentando que te acepte como amigos. Like he comes back and still tells her like, I want to be your friend. And she's like, ahora regresas, intentando que te acepte como amigos. And she replies like, ¿cómo puedes ser tan cruel? Like, how can you be so cruel después de haberme herido? Like after hurting me. And it says like, te fuiste en el peor momento de mi vida. So it's kind of like, oh, snap. Like she really went through it. You know what I mean? So we wrote a song upon it, and I feel like it's a very great song. It's a very great story. Proud of the fan that took, tuvo el valor de decir, you know what, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this in my life, because sometimes from what I hear, because a lot of friends have done it, they make the mistake of bringing them back and say, you know what, yes, be my friend. But that causes a lot of more pain, a lot of more stress, and she chose not to. So proud of you. And that song, well, it's based on a fan for sure.
I love that. I love that for her, because that is something so dark. Like you said, she was so brave to not take him back in her life in any kind of way, porque eso hubiera sido muy tóxico. Like, definitely. But then also, like, here you just wrote a song for her to describe what she went through. And instead of it being like a, like a hurt song, it's more like her taking back the power. That's kind of the perspective you're telling it from. So I love that. She definitely deserves it after all that.
Absolutely, 100%. Por eso se la entregamos con cariño.
Luis, what can you tell us about the rest of the album, or any favorite moments you've had while producing, writing, and working on it?
I feel like my favorite part of this album is writing probably majority of the songs. I was part of the co-composition of a variety of songs, and I'm super excited because I feel like now it's the creative process that I'm living, and I love the creative process of building an album, of musically being 100% involved, and I wasn't allowed to do it back then. So now that I'm allowed to, I love it. I love that process.
And this is your 5th studio album, one that everybody's been waiting for so long. You really, se nota, you put your all into it. You really did. You spilled like las verdades de tu vida que has vivido and everything. And we just feel so much closer to you hearing these songs. It's got like different vibes, and like you said, music that we can hear all day long. So we appreciate that, of course.
Thank you so much for always being so nice and always being so sweet with your comments. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So we've got a Mucho Talento finale right around the corner. We've got the album that's dropping right now. What else can we be expecting from you in the near future?
A lot of music. I feel like the number one goal for me is creating a lot of music after this album. Expect another one super soon. A lot of singles, a lot of new albums, and just music. I'm really going to focus on getting into the studio, maybe closing myself up for 2-3 months. And after the 2-3 months, I'll have the full album created, artwork, everything ready. So it'll be exciting.
Oh my God, tan pronto. We know you will not disappoint, Luis. So we're super excited for that. And everybody can go stream Dentro de Mis Ojos now, and tell us what your favorite song is down in the comments, of course.
Yes, thank you guys so much for always supporting. Dentro de Mis Ojos is available. Whatever song you guys like, leave it down in the comments below.
Yes. And Luis, before you go, I will have you do a quick drop, just saying in English or Spanish, Luis Coronel, estás viendo el show, and then basically what you said, that your new album's available everywhere.
So estás viendo, how do you want me to say it? Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Luis Coronel, ¿estás viendo el show? Or how exactly?
Yeah, basically that, and then send everybody to go stream your album.
Okay, so pero así se llama el show.
Así mismo.
Okay. Hola, ¿qué tal, amigos? Yo soy Luis Coronel y no se pierdan esa entrevista que tengo con mis amigos del show.
Yeah, that's good.
Or how?
You want to just do it? No, yeah. El show, así nomás. So just say, estás viendo el show, puedes ir a stream my new album, como sea que quieras.
Okay, va que bien.
Okay.
Hola, ¿qué tal, amigos? Yo soy Luis Coronel y estás viendo el show, y quiero invitarlos a que hagan stream mi nuevo álbum que ya está disponible y que no se pierdan esta entrevista donde estamos platicando de muchísimas cosas.
Perfect. That was great. Thank you so much, Luis.
Awesome.
As always, thank you for
you.
new music and your time.
I appreciate you, Natasha. Igual, ten mucho cuidado. Have a blessed day.
Same to you, and thank you, Rocio.
Thank you, guys. Te veo en 15, Luis.